What's up, guys? Welcome back to Inside Out Precision. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this review. You may know that notice that I'm holding a bow in my hand that I have not held in prior reviews. Today we're reviewing the BOWTECH SS34. Now, over the years, I've had a lot of requests to review BOWTECHs. People wondered why I couldn't. It was a simple fact: we did not sell them at the bow rack. So it was hard for me to get my hands on one. I shouldn't say it was hard for me to get my hands on one, but I wasn't going to review something we didn't sell necessarily. And on top of that, we didn't sell them because we didn't like the bows. It was just BOWTECH's headquarters are literally 10 miles up the road from the bow rack. Every other dealership has at least a 20-mile radius between dealers, so that you're not trying to, 5 shops aren't trying to all sell to the exact same market. It just creates an unnecessary competitive nature. So we didn't sell them because of that reason. Up here at G4, we're 120 miles from BOWTECH. We have their full lineup, so I'm going to get to review all these different bows. They got some really cool bows this year. I think the most hype, the one that I'm most excited for personally, is this bow. It's got a lot of really cool features. So we're going to do the technical specs, and then we're going to do the chrono test as usual. So getting into the tech side of things, as the name would suggest, SS34, it is 34 inches axle to axle, has a 6 3/4 inch brace height, which is a nice forgiving brace height. That's due to the low reflex in the riser here. And what that's going to do is give you more forgiveness. And I know I've mentioned this before, but just the brace height itself, an 8-inch brace height, you don't get the forgiveness because the arrow's getting off the string quicker. It's because of the less reflex, which is the distance from the limb pocket to the grip here. The less reflex there is in a riser, the more pressure it takes to torque that riser. So that's where you get the forgiveness with brace height, not because it's getting off the string sooner. So you notice the low reflex on this compared to, I don't know, like any of the speed bows out there basically, or most bows with like a 6-inch brace height. So I really like the geometry on this. Comes in at 4.7 pounds, 26 to 31.5 inches, so it'll fit most people. And you can get it in a 50, 60, or 70 pound peak weight. Now they do offer this same bow. It's a different model. They call it the SX80. It is exactly the same bow. It just comes with 80 pound limbs. So if you're gonna get one of these and you want it in 80, don't ask your dealer to get you an 80 pound SS34. Ask them to get you an 80 pound SX or SX80, and it will just come in 80 pounds. A lot of features that make this bow cool. So you may be familiar with this already, but they have what is called the Deadlock technology on the cams here. So the actual axle actually runs through these 2 metal pieces attached to the end of the limbs. There's a set screw and a drive screw. So this is called the Deadlock technology. And what this allows you to do, and this is a huge selling point for a lot of guys, is actually tune this bow and move that cam right or left, top and bottom cam have it. Move it right or left on the cam without ever putting your bow in a press. What makes that so attractive to people is, let's say you have a pro shop, but it's not one you really trust, or you live 2-3 hours from the nearest pro shop. This allows you to do all your tuning at home without any shim kits or tools other than an Allen wrench or putting your bow in and out of a press. From a technician standpoint, I really, really like it because it saves me a lot of time. I'm not running back and forth from the tuning room to the bow press. I'm not waiting on people who are already in a press that I need, yada, yada, yada. Really, really cool technology. It works really well. Some people say, oh, well, what if that lock screw comes loose? Well, the drive screw doesn't just turn really easy. It takes quite a bit of tension to get it to move. So even if that screw comes loose a little bit unknowingly, the chances of your cam moving are very, very slim. It is something I will say, especially on new bows, just like any new bow, module screws tend to come loose, stuff like that. You will want to check it. It's definitely something you want to be mindful of, but it doesn't seem to be an issue, at least from what I've seen. There's a lot of people up here that shoot BOWTECHs with this technology, and I've not really run into any issues with it. On the same note of the lock technology, so they have what they call the dual lock cams. So there's these 2 screws right here. On the limb pockets, that locks that limb pocket into place really, really tight. When you go to change your draw weight on the bow and you're going to back that limb bolt out, make sure that you take at least like a half turn or a full turn out of those. Otherwise, what will happen is that'll lock that limb in so tight that as you start to back out the screw, only the screw will come out and the limb pocket will stay down. And if you were to draw the bow and that limb popped, there would definitely be potential that you could I don't know, crack a limb or derail the bow or something crazy like that. So always take, back those out a half turn or a full turn before you change your draw weight, then lock them right back down. Another thing I really like about this bow is the grip. The stock grip is extremely, extremely comfortable, but they actually make 2 other inserts, maybe even 3, but there's other inserts that you can take off. So this black portion here just pops right off, and you can insert another one that has a little more high wrist to it. Again, just allowing you to customize the feel of that bow. Some guys like a little more high wrist. They feel like it takes more tension out of their wrist and forearm. As we all know, tension is your enemy in archery. Your arms, they're not going to be completely relaxed, but the more tension I can take out of my wrist and hand, generally speaking, the less jittery I'm going to feel on target. So really, really cool there. Like I said, you can just customize this bow to the feel that you want, and that includes the modules. So it's a rotating module. Like I said, it goes from 26 to 31 inches. So you generally, if you like, this is on 30 inches. I have the draw stop at 30 inches. This is on the comfort setting, so it's kind of hard to see, but it says comfort right there. I can take these modules off, which I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot it on the comfort and performance setting today. Take these modules off and flip them top and bottom. And when I flip it to the bottom, I have to turn the module over, and that's the performance setting. And what that does is it takes your let off from about 87% on the comfort setting down to about 83% on the performance setting. Has a little bit stiffer draw, less of a valley, a little bit less let off, but it is supposed to increase your arrow speed. By how much? I don't know. We'll see today. This bow IBOs at 331, which is a little bit on the slower side. In the past, BOWTECH seemed to underperform even a little bit more than other brands. Like, very few bows actually hit their IBO rating, even at all the IBO specs, with the arrow and draw length and draw weight. But I've heard that has been changed. So hopefully, I think that VTM that I shot last week was at 272 with a 525 grain arrow at 30 inches and 70 pounds. So I'm curious to see what that first shot is like on the comfort and performance setting. Another thing that you can do, so they have 2 different draw stops. So this is the larger of the 2. This is the blue one. Lots of guys on the comfort setting will run a little bit larger one because it gives that valley a good feel. It's not too much let off and too deep of a valley. I've heard, so they make a black one that's a little bit smaller. I've heard of guys, when they go to the performance setting, they'll actually go to that slightly smaller draw stop, and it puts it at about 84, 85% let off and just gives it a little more valley and doesn't want to go on you as much. I don't know what that would do to speed. I don't have those draw stops available right now to test that. But again, you can customize this bow to feel however you want. Another cool feature about this, and you can do this with a lot of different bows, but it seems to work better on the BOWTECHs for whatever reason. Let's say you're a guy that's going to hunt with this all fall, and then you want to shoot indoor and spring 3D and summer 3D with it, and you want that more target bow feel. So let's say I'm a 30-inch draw, like this is set. If I leave that draw stop module or draw stop peg here at 30 and then increase my draw length to 30 and a half on the module, when I draw the bow, it's still only going to draw 30 inches because these pegs are going to stop it at 30 inches, but it won't let that cam get all the way into the valley because the module is set for a longer draw length. So it's going to take that let off down to like 70%. So you can get that, it's significant. So you can get that target bow feel out of your hunting bow, and you don't need a new set of modules to do so. So again, really, really customizable for a guy that likes to tinker with stuff at home with different arrow setups, stuff like that. This bow is a dream because you don't need a press to do anything. You just take your Allen wrenches with you. You can do whatever you need. All you need is a little piece of paper and something to stretch it out and shoot through it into a target and tune your bow. So lots of cool technology. I'm excited to see what it does through paper here. I'm going to quit gabbing and go get my arrows, get the chrono set up, and sling some slivers through this thing. All right, guys, got the chrono set up here. Got the chrono set up here. So again, 70 pounds, 30 inches. This is the comfort setting. 525 grain arrow. The Hoyt VTM was 272. I relooked. This bow is IBO's 3 feet a second slower, so we'll see what it shoots. So comfortable on the draw. 271. So right at. That's pretty awesome. Pardon me. This is a 470 grain arrow. I know it's hard to tell on camera, but this thing is like stupid quiet. Oh, blew a vein off the other arrow. 282. Dang it, I just fletched that arrow too. Those are both my arrows. Okay, this is 430 grain arrow. I'm gonna aim slightly to the right of those. .294, so cruising. And this is a 382. Yeah, 382. This should be quick. I think it might actually be faster than that VTM. I'm gonna have to look at those arrows. 304. So I'm impressed with that. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting it to be like 265 on that first arrow. So that's the comfort setting. I'm leaving the draw length where it is, but I am going to flip it to the performance, and I'm curious to see how the draw cycle stacks up, what the let off difference feels like, and then if there's actually a noticeable speed difference to make it worth the stiffer draw cycle. Personally, with those speeds, I'd be hard pressed to take it off the comfort setting, but we'll see what the speed is, and maybe, who knows, maybe it'll be worth it. All right, that took me about 5 minutes to flip them top and bottom. So again, first arrow, so this is the performance setting, 70 pounds, 30 inches. All I did was flip the discs. So let's see what this puppy does. Honestly, didn't feel much of a difference there in terms of draw cycle. 270. That's weird. I wonder if the side facing it, I wonder if it was on performance before, because it actually felt stiffer before. And I shot 270 and was really comfortable. I think it was actually on performance before. I thought that the side face that you could see was the setting that it was on, but it might be the opposite. It might be the side facing the cam. So this is a 470 grain arrow. .283. So far, I'm not really seeing any difference in speed. It's more of a feel thing. Remember, I am left-handed. I'm drawing this bow right-handed, so that's why I look like I'm struggling like a little weenie. 293. It's literally like basically a foot a second slower, and I think it's on the comfort setting now. It was smooth on the performance. It feels like really smooth now. I don't feel that big of a difference. That was 3. Okay, so that was 310. It was 305 before. That's kind of weird. Either way, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to double check with my rep. It feels like it actually drew easier right there. It might just be because I got used to it. But the speeds were pretty much the same. Other than that last arrow, that was 5 feet a second faster than the one before. But all the other ones were, pardon me, like a foot a second slower. So it's kind of a wash on the speed. You can play around with that though and see which one feels best to you. But definitely get down to your BOWTECH dealer and check this out. Besides the flip disc thing, which again, speed-wise, I really didn't see anything there. I thought it felt great on the first one, and then it felt even easier on the second go-around. Besides that, like I said, what makes this bow so cool is being able to do everything without a press. You can do everything you want to it at home. It draws great. It holds well, at least from what I can tell, shooting it right-handed, it holds well. I can't wait till we get a lefty in and I can actually put it through its paces. It's really, really quiet, smooth on the shot, all the things you look for in a bow. So head down to your BOWTECH dealer. If you're in the area, swing by the shop. We got the full lineup in stock, ready to sell. And yeah, run some arrows through this thing, see if you come to the same conclusion I do. Hard for me to tell the difference there. The speeds speak for themselves. So yeah, it is what it is. As usual, guys, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Remember, precision is a decision. Keep them in the middle, and I'll see you on the range.